I was kind of unsure about Malignant going into it. You know, the one driving force, the one positive it had for me was being directed by James Wan. I love his horror output. He seems like the one director these days that knows how to make these studio made horror movies that genuinely terrify. But there was something about Malignant when I started watching it that just didn't click for me. I knew the twist. I could see it coming a mile away, or at least I thought I did. And I was partially right. It's not overtly hidden. And I think looking back at the movie now, it kind of leads you down a path towards suspecting what that is. And we're following the character of Madison, this woman who's in an abusive relationship, who starts to have these visions of a strange killer tormenting and murdering people, and she becomes almost psychically linked with it. The first victim being her husband and herself, as she is attacked and left for dead. We kind of discover Madison's story throughout the movie. Now, I don't want to go into too many spoilers about this, because I think it's a movie that the more I think about it, the more I really kind of appreciate it, the more I think it's well set up. The first 2/3 are very procedural. They're very by the numbers. They follow the kind of tropes you would expect. There's a police officer investigating it. There is Madison, who could become a suspect herself because she's so interlinked with the killer. You have these brutally bloody sequences of the killer doing its vengeance and killing and destroying people. And the ramifications of that, it's an investigation. And we follow that kind of steps. We have Madison trying to figure out why she's seeing things and what's going on. And there's the backstory of the character herself. There's other people come into it, like Madison's sister, her mother, that come in and add a little bit more backstory to this. I'm really trying to skirt around the edges here, because what I want to talk about, and I'm going to have to talk about in limited circumstances because I will not spoil the movie, is the final third of the film. There is a reveal that is so perfectly batshit crazy that I just utterly started giggling watching it. It was so unusual, refreshing, shocking, and becomes an almost John Wick bloodbath involving sharp objects, broken bones, and bloodied bodies in the finale, that it just made me sit up, pay attention, and want to see this again. I need to revisit Malignant because it lured me in. It made me comfortable within my knowledge of horror movies. I sat back and I thought I knew everything. I knew where the movie was going, and for the first hour I did. I could tell the beats that were going to happen, the character moments that were going to happen, and what was going on. But it's that final third that just turns the movie on its head and creates something so odd, unusual, fun, that I just, I don't know what to say. I literally do know what to say. Like I said, the reveal is awesome. And I have seen a lot of movies, and most of the times I can kind of see what's coming. This one, I had half a guess. I was close, but the reality of the situation was just so obnoxiously weird that I just, oh man. And there's a scene within a police station that was simply jaw-dropping, watching this play out in front of my eyes. Malignant was Wan at his most fun. You know, I think he was playing with the audience for most of the movie. It's from an idea by him, and I think he's had this finale in his mind, and it's just about ticking off the boxes to get there and completely pulling the rug from under our feet. And the movie does that remarkably well. I think the performances are pretty great, particularly from Annabella Wallis, who plays the main character of Madison. She is a kind of fractured soul who has to go through a lot in the movie. Wow. Do you know, I try to think about the movie, but all I can focus on is that final third and just how fun it actually was. Man, I'm going to have to go and check it out again. I really like this one. On a first watch, it's a great movie. I think it go higher than that on a rewatch just to see how it goes on. Wan knows how to set up the scares and the horror and the tension, and plays with us beautifully throughout, creating these masterful set pieces where we know what's coming. It's just a matter of how long he's going to draw out that tension before unleashing the violence. Malignant is well worth checking out. It really is, and stick with it. It'll feel familiar, it'll feel tropey, and like other things you've seen for that first hour. Get to that finale, and it is totally worth it. I'd love to know your thoughts on Malignant. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.